Hello everyone, this is the Abundance Oracle. Please like and subscribe. Okay, we've been having a lot of fun videos lately. At least I've been having fun on the videos. Hopefully you had fun watching. But I want to sort of put that aside just for a little bit and talk to you a little bit about the vegetable garden I'm growing, because I think a lot of you haven't started up in a meaningful way to have a vegetable garden. And we know a couple things are happening in the world, and that the shipping and the transportation of items, including food and including fertilizer for food, are changing. And we're going to need, not that we need, I recommend that you start now to learn how to grow your food. I don't care if it's in pots, if it's in raised bed, if it's a little bit in the ground, whatever it is. If you're anything like I was a brainiac, bought everything at the store, all my food at the store, until I moved to where I am now. Oh gosh, spot, don't look at the spot on my shirt, I'm a wreck, I'm working. I had to learn from scratch. I didn't know how much water was too much water. I didn't know that it was bad to use water out of the tap. I need to get rain barrels so that I have healthy water without a lot of chemicals in it. Some of my plants didn't like getting water out of the tap. They barely survived. And you don't want to have a garden that barely survives. You want to have a prosperous garden, especially right off the bat, because this is a challenging thing to do, to learn to be a gardener. Now, there's people's channels that you find that they will give you the information to turn everything into specific details. It was very difficult for me to watch those types of channels because I was new. I needed to do all the basics first. I needed to make mistakes and then figure out how to fix the mistakes, because not everybody makes the same mistakes. Okay, so one of the things I want to show you is this is the first, well, last year I had a little bit of onions. They were bigger. This year I have more onions, and I have a whole big tray full, but this is what they look like. They're a little small. So you see, I just took them out of the ground here. They're a little small. So some years are good years for certain plants, and some years are not so good for certain plants. Sometimes there's more cold weather, more warm weather, more water, natural water coming from the skies, depending upon what you're doing. Okay, I'm just going to do a little walkthrough with you and tell you a little bit about what I discovered. I know it's going to be a little bit longer video, but one of my recommendations is right here. I would start out, this is my garlic, and it's pretty much done for the season. I can pull it out, and I let the tops of the garlic, you see how they're start to make their own seeds, so that I can take those little things out and put them in the ground, and they'll grow again for the fall. Now, here's one thing I did in the beginning. I was so adamant. Oh, no. Oh, there's a weed. Pull out the weeds. Well, you know what? I'm not so adamant about that, because some of the weeds really help you have great plants. So this year, this is my potato bin here. There's more potatoes here. And then I put some flowers I wanted to grow, and potatoes here. Now I got to dig them up, because you can see. Let's just see what it looks like, if I can find one for you. It's nice and damp down here. Okay, I feel something. So there's a little red potato. And so I can go along and grab potatoes. Some will be smaller, some will be bigger, but I'm just leaving them in the ground. What I've discovered is with potatoes if I'm lazy and I have them in the ground like this instead of in a pot where you have to dig them out. You dig them out when you need them. And you know what? If you don't really need them until next spring, they're going to start growing back again. So there's some plants that are so easy to take care of. For a beginner, it is absolutely fabulous to start with the easy plants. Unfortunately, no one ever told me there were easier plants and there were more difficult plants. So that's my potato idea. Okay, now we're going to go to, these are my cucumbers. So I started out with this one side here. Let's see if you can see it. See how it's a arch here. And I put it in window box over here. And over there, I'm growing it out of my raised bed box and up and over. Well, the first year, I only started out of the window box and it didn't do too well. And I couldn't figure out why, what's wrong with that? And then one year, I planted it over on this side here into a raised bed box. And all of a sudden, my cucumber production went like 20 times as much. I mean, and you can see right here. I mean, I got them hanging down. And it helps a lot for me. I don't know about you. Now, this one's a little puffy. I don't know what's up with that. But you see, can you see all the little ones here? I'll just sort of show you a little that are starting. They're coming out. I must have taken off 20 so far this year. So a lot of, I'm going to put my little potato here so I'm not walking around with it. So a lot is you need to find out which way is your sun coming. This is a little too hot. So I think if I even got something a little cooler for my cucumbers, they would be better longer. And this didn't work out with this window box thing. I didn't know what I was doing. There wasn't enough dirt, so it dried out way too fast. And then this is my second batch of onions this year. So I'm listening to a channel now from a gentleman who lives in New Jersey, and he's basically the same zone number that I am. And it helps me a lot because he'll say, okay, now it's July. Okay, plant these. And don't forget, you might get bugs in these, so you better do it this way or that way. So I really would like to recommend you find someone that has just a gardening channel and that knows what they're doing and that can help you out with whatever way you decide is best for you to plant. I wanted to start with raised beds, and what I'm finding out is because they're not made out of a long-lasting, durable product, this is untreated wood, and it goes bad pretty quickly. So, you know, you think, oh, well, that'll be 5 years down the road. Yes, well, 5 years comes much faster than you think. And so now I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to be taking and replacing some of those without making a mess all over the place. One of the things I did this year that started to be really, really good for my tomatoes is I said, oh, what the heck, I'm going to put my tomatoes in a different raised bed. And I put it near the ones that had another arch over the top. And it's called a cow panel, you see? And all my tomatoes are just growing like hog wild. They like it there. And they're growing so long and tall that they're starting to grow over my cow panel. Now, a cow panel is an extremely inexpensive way to get an arch. So it was, I believe, $13 for a 16-foot cow panel, versus if you go to your gardening store, I mean, I've seen some of them for like $100. Well, once these things fill up with plants, you don't even know what's underneath. So start out being conservative. Don't spend so much money. if you have woods near you, go dig out some of the dirt in the woods. Unless you've been spraying on pesticides or something, you can't use your own dirt. When I started to think about where I live and how many people have manicured lawns around me, all that glyphosate, is that how you say it, is sprayed on their lawns. This property I am on has not had any chemicals on it for the 7 years that I've been here, and then Miss Stella before me was 21 years. And we don't know about the person before that, but this house was built in 1914. So my guess is nobody sprayed any bad chemicals on my dirt for a long time. And way back when, they didn't even have grocery stores. And what I've been doing is looking for places where they might have kept their garden. You'd have to have a big garden to be able to feed your family way back in 1914. So it's just sort of interesting. Okay, so here I have, if you can see that all, this one I think is, I don't know, I think that's going to be a squash or something or other. But I have zucchini, summer squash, and things that are coming out here. And you can see it's just starting over. This is the little yellow that's going to be much bigger. And then I have over here the zucchini. I'm trying a new type of zucchini because I'm experimenting. And this is, let me see, I saw one here today that's growing. Okay, there you go. You see this one? There you go. And this one here is starting to grow too. So evidently, I'm not bad at growing zucchini. Now, if you have children, my kids, because you use the word zucchini and it sounds like, oh, vegetables or something, they all were like, oh no, I don't need any of that zucchini bread. Well, zucchini bread is so popular and so tasty. I just suggest you say, oh, I'm trying this new type of bread. It's really fabulous and seems like all the kids like it. Okay, so that's different then. Then they try it. Other kids have approved it, basically. So zucchini bread is very popular in my house. Only if you're coming over to my house, don't call it zucchini bread. Oh, that favorite bread that my daughter likes. That's what we're having. Okay, besides your string beans, those for me are the easiest thing to grow. I have to give them away. You can't even get rid of the things. They grow so crazy. I'm getting a lot of rosemary here. I also have oregano that's taking over practically my whole herb box. It's just crazy. I keep chopping it off and it keeps coming back. I have a little arugula that's overgrown now. Sage, thyme in the very corner. The thyme doesn't like the really heat, so it's sort of dying back now. The other thing I did is something that was fun for me, because after all, Mama should get some fun things every once in a while, right? So what I did is I said, what can I grow that I think would be fun for me? Hold on. Can you see that? Concord grapes. This is the first year that the birds didn't eat them right off the bat because there's so much leaves growing over my cow panel that they can't even find all of the grapes. I'm just going to show you. Now, this is my third year. So some of the urgency I have in telling you to take and grow food is because it takes a while for fruit or the mistakes of the gardener to be able to grow good quality items. So I just want to urge you, if you have if you have a garden in or a pathway along your front yard, or even if your condominium has a little bit of a pathway into your entrance, you can take and plant some plants that plant some vegetables that look like a garden. So you can start to disguise some of your things. And you know what I learned, which was very, very interesting to me, is that a lot of very healthy plants that used to be called by their name and used to be eaten in the entirety, for example, dandelions, are very, very healthy for you. Well, the large corporations didn't want anything that grows wild becoming a favorite food, because they only want things that they can produce, that grow food and can and is easy to make money off of. Well, dandelions are all over the place. And if they're not near a road and they're not getting sprayed and being called weeds, they converted their name from a dandelion to, a weed, and told everybody, nope, you got to get rid of those dandelions. Well, those dandelions are extremely nutritious. You can eat the leaves. In fact, my grandmother told me a story when back during the Depression, she used to work at the Hood milk place. It was a big place near Boston, and production place. And so they used to work there, and all the ladies at a certain time of year, they would, the security in the front entrance would not let anyone else, except if you worked there, to go out over the rolling lawn, because the whole rolling lawn had tons and tons of daffodils in it. Not daffodils, excuse me, dandelions in it. And at the end of their shift, all the ladies that worked there were allowed to go out, and they had their little aprons on and brought little bags so that they could bring stuff home. And they would pick out in the springtime, when the leaves were very tender, they would pick them out and snip them off. They would never pull them because they wanted those weeds to come back year after year after year. So they also, if it wasn't on the Hood rolling lawn, if it was some other place, they would take and pull up the roots. And the roots could also be turned into tea. And the flowers are very nutritious as well. So anything that basically was easy for people to get at, nutritious, and where people couldn't make a big buck out of it, they somehow started calling those things weeds. The corporation calling those things weeds. And that's how all the glyphosate, I don't know how you say it, and weed killer came on the market. And that's why they started to have you, oh no, don't do a natural lawn. Oh, that's just like the poor class, or whatever they called them back then. Instead of saying, oh, you're moving up in the world, you should have a lawn without any weeds. Try this nice green grass and the picket fence and all the things that you have to pay for. It's very insane. Potatoes store very easily in a darker environment, like a basement, that is cool, and it will last the whole winter. You have to take out the ones, if you have a big box full of them, you have to take out the ones if they turn bad. You have to take them out and toss them. Other than that, just keep using them throughout the whole winter. You don't even need to refrigerate it. So there's a lot of interesting information if you start to research what the Amish do, because most of them don't have electricity. There's ways to store things, to grow things. And we'll get into that a little bit more. But I just wanted to share with you, it's so very important. As the prices of food go up, up, and up, get a pot, get a Amazon box, put some dirt in it, and start practicing growing. Whatever you have to do, start practicing. It's a skill. And as most skills, you have to learn how to do it well. Okay, this is the Abundance Oracle. Please like and subscribe, and we'll have more conversations. I noticed that my short, just happy conversations of the fun stuff that I get to do in life are getting many more people seeing it than the ones that are going to teach you how to make a difference in your life and your family's life, and even in your finances. So, okay, I hope you listen. Come back again. I'll try and make them, oh my gosh, 20 minutes. I'll try and make them much shorter and faster lessons. Love you all. The Abundance Oracle.